For this next part, I hope you're ready for this. You better be sitting down because when I first learned this, it really blew my mind. So when I first started fooling around with this Essential Graphics panel, I was like, oh, this is cute. Like we can add text and little shapes, and isn't this adorable? But then I am digging around in Adobe's Premiere Pro manual for y'all, and I see that you can drag video from your project panel to Essential Graphics. Clearly y'all are not hyping enough about this, so let me show y'all. All right, so I've got this video footage that I want to add to our graphic. So I've got this clip here. These are the founders of our nonprofit, and they're dancing and they're trying to get people hyped, telling them to come to this event. So to add this video to our graphic, all I need to do is just drag it from the project panel over to this layer pane in our Essential Graphics panel, and boom, it's been added. Now this layer is gonna act like any other layer, so I can scale it, I can move it around, and in the Essential Graphics panel, I can move it below other layers or above them if I want. But I don't want these elements to overlap each other, so I'm just gonna shift click to select all of our titles, and now I can move them all at once over here. Now our graphic is looking really cute, y'all, and so let's go to full screen, and if we play this graphic clip back on our timeline, you'll see that our video is playing no problem. One thing to keep in mind though when you're adding videos to the Essential Graphics panel is that if you've got in and out points set on your video clip, they ain't gonna work in Essential Graphics, so they're gonna get ignored. So for example, I've got this video of this fruit being sliced here, and you'll see that at the beginning of the clip, the knife is just starting to go into the fruit, but let's say we want the clip to start here in the middle where the fruit has been sliced up a couple times. So we'll press I to set the endpoint here. So now this clip should start right here, but you'll see that if we drag this clip over to Essential Graphics, our little endpoint has been ignored, and we're back at the beginning of the clip where that knife is just starting to go in. Now, a quick workaround for this is that I could click on this clip here, and then I could go to the clip menu, and I could make a sub clip. And now Premiere is going to make a new clip in our project panel that is trimmed up like this one, and we can drag it to Essential Graphics, and it will start where we want it to. But what does this fruit footage have to do with our digital dance party? Nothing. So let's delete this, and before we move on, we're going to add one more video clip. So I've got this video of a Zoom call on a laptop where it looks like everybody is grooving together, and I got this from Giphy, and then I just looped that GIF into one long clip here. And so I'm just going to add this to Essential Graphics, and then let's scale this guy down, and we'll rotate him, and I think he belongs up in this top right corner here. All right, now let's play this back real quick, and y'all look at how cute our graphic is looking, but I need to pause this for a second because we need to zoom in on this Essential Graphics panel and address this situation here, because at this point we have a lot of layers in this panel. So the neurotic side of me is freaking out a little bit and thinking we need to Marie Kondo this ASAP. And so I'm just gonna click all of my background layers here, and then I'm gonna go down to this little folder icon, and I'm going to create a layer group. So let's call this background. Cool. Now let's do the same thing for our text layers. We'll make a group for them. And now the really cool thing here is that I can just select one of these groups, and I can edit all of the layers inside of it at one time. Anyway, let's get back to creating stuff for our graphic here. So the next thing I want to do is I want to add a curvy blob shape behind all these text layers here, kind of like an area rug that's going to tie all of this together. So I'm going to grab my pen tool here, and then I'm going to go to the program monitor, and I'm going to click and drag to start drawing the curves of that blob shape. And there is no perfect blob shape. Your blob can look like whatever you want it to look like.
You're the creator. Anything that you want, you can build here. This is your world.
Yes, Bob, preach. Anyway, now let's change the color of our beautiful blob here so we can see her, and there she is. And now let's move her behind our text so we can see that too. All right, now I don't want this blob shape to be just this solid white color. I actually want to fill it with this texture that I've got in this image right here. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drag this texture over to the Essential Graphics panel, and I'm gonna drop it in this text layer group. Now I'm going to drag this texture underneath our blob shape, and you're gonna see why in just a second, because things are about to get really cool. So now I'm going to select this blob shape layer, and I'm gonna go down here in the settings, and I am going to check this box, mask with shape. Now what that just did is it created a mask in the shape of our blob. So it created a cutout or a transparent hole that is in the shape of that blob. And since our texture layer is underneath that hole, now it is showing through our blob shaped mask. And you'll also notice that the icon beside our blob layer here, it has a hole in it now because this layer is now a mask. And so just to show you with a simpler example, whenever you select a layer and click mask with shape, it's going to let whatever layers are underneath it show through. Anyway, our graphic here is looking dope, but we are not done yet. So I'm feeling like our dancers over here need a little bit of love. So since this is a digital event, I'm thinking that I want to put these dancers inside an internet browser window that looks like this. And so to make this, I will start with that black outer frame, and I'm going to create a new shape layer that's a rectangle, and I'll make it about the size of this video of our dancers. Doesn't have to be perfect. We're going to fix this in a second. Then I'll get rid of the fill. I'll add a stroke and I'll make it black. And then let's rename this layer window frame. All right, now let's make that little top bar on this window. And so I'm going to start by just copying that layer we just made. Let's call this top bar. And now I will drag that box up here and let's bring back our white fill. Sweet. Okay, now let's make our little dots up in the corner. And to do that, I think I'm just going to add a new text layer and then type 3 periods for our circles, except those do not look like perfectly round circles, do they? And so let's change this to a round font. And yes, that's how a circle looks. And now let's decrease the space between these letters and we'll position these dots up in the top left corner. All right, now if I just hide this clip of our dancers real quick, then you're going to see that our browser window is looking legit, but we don't want it to be empty. And so let's bring those dancers back. And now we just got to fit these dancers inside this window frame because right now they're hanging off the edge. And so to do that, we're going to use another layer mask. And so we're going to create a cutout or a hole that is the exact same size as this window browser. And then we'll put the clip of our dancers underneath that mask so that they show through the hole. So first, let's create the shape layer that's going to be our mask. And since it needs to be the same size as this window, to make that easy, I'm just going to copy this window frame layer. Now, this new layer, I'm going to call window box because we want this mask or this hole to be a filled in box so that that video of our dancers underneath is going to show through. So to make sure that they show through, we're going to drag this window box layer that's going to be our mask right above the layer of our dancers. And now we're ready to make this window box layer a mask. And so we're going to go down here and we're going to check mask with shape. And now our dancers are inside the window browser and like nothing's hanging off the edge of the frame. So that's cool, except everything else is black. So why is this happening? Well, this is happening because when we created that window box mask, all of the layers above this mask are not affected. They're above it, they're just going to stack on top of it and do their thing. But all the layers below the mask, they're only going to show up if they're inside that box shape or that box hole. If they're outside of that box, they're going to get cut out or they're going to turn black. And since we've got 2 layer groups, our text blob and our background, that are underneath this window box mask, they're getting affected too. But we can fix this really easily. All we have to do is create a new group with all of those layers for our browser window. And now our window box mask is only going to apply to any layers below it within this group. And so it's only affecting the dancers now, and our text blob and our background are back in business.